Well, hello and welcome to Lights Camera Cricket. With the fight in the IPL beginning and tightening for those top 4 spots to qualify for the playoffs, Kolkata have done themselves a huge favour. They beat Hyderabad by 35 runs to jump to the 3rd place in the IPL table. Kolkata were off to a perfect start with Uthappa and skipper Gambhir at the crease. But post their dismissal, Kolkata could never find the rhythm again and finished with 167 in 20 overs, with a late onslaught from Yusuf Pathan. For Hyderabad, disaster struck right at the top as Umesh Yadav dismissed David Warner and Naman Ojha in the very first over. With brilliant spells from Piyush Chawla, Botha and Brad Hogg, Kolkata put brakes on the Hyderabad scoring and registered a comfortable win. Well, our smart over of the day has to be Umesh Yadav's. The very first over of the match, dismissing David Warner and Naman Ojha out there. Picked up 2 wickets and just gave away 6 runs. And over to our player of the day now, and Brad Hogg has been in amazing form. He performed brilliantly today as well, and he ended up picking wickets and not bowling very badly out there. Brilliant economy rate out there by him. We are joined by Nikhil Chopra in the studio. And Nikhil, as we have been speaking about Hogg, we really don't know how. His age doesn't seem to be a factor. He's bowling brilliantly. The economy seems to be brilliant, and he's picking wickets at a regular interval. So nobody's really missing Sunil Narine out there, and Brad Hogg has done a brilliant job for Kolkata.
I think that's the best thing that's happened to the KKR side, because Sunil Narine was such an integral part of that whole unit. You know, their game plan for him to bowl in the first couple of overs, then looking to bowl at the depth as well, and he used to pick up wickets. It's not just the economy with Sunil Narine there, it was him picking wickets and, you know, putting a lot of pressure on the opposition. That similar sort of role has been fulfilled by Brad Hogg. So the support staff, the think tank for the KKR would be an extremely happy lot. And the other thing that the support staff does very well, and also Gautam Gambhir, each time they're playing in Kolkata, they realize the ball's going to be spinning. So they drop a premier fast bowler and they bring in Johan Botha. And, you know, and he's done a fantastic job for them as well.
In fact, Nikhil, all 3 spinners today did a brilliant job. We had Piyush Chawla, like you mentioned, Botha was got back into the team, and we have Brad Hogg. All 3 spinners, really good economy rates, picking up wickets as well. So the spinners are really doing a great job for Kolkata.
I think horses for courses, very important. You know, with the kind of track that you're going to be playing, home ground, you understand the conditions in and out, and you know those 12 overs of spin could, you know, do some sort of trouble for the opposition. And that's exactly what happened. You know, with the economy not so expensive by the 3 spinners and also picking up wickets. When your premier fast bowler gives you a start in Umesh Yadav the way he did, I think it makes a world of a difference. And when you've got quality in your spinning ranks as well. Hyderabad, in the pre-game show, we said, Radhika, until unless David Warner and Shikhar Dhawan get runs, that middle order doesn't get a platform. You know, you don't see the names in that middle order who can win you games. Enriquez, fair enough, got 40 odd, but there's nobody else with him to, you know, even get to 140 odd runs when you're chasing.
So Nikhil, Hyderabad's batting has been a problem, but Kolkata have bowled brilliantly. We were speaking about the spinners. Let's just in fact take a look at how Piyush Chawla bowled in today, and he seemed to have bowled a good line all through. He seemed to have bowled hardly any short lengths, no full length deliveries at all, bowled at a brilliant line, and that is why he picked up those wickets and didn't give away any runs.
Well, he's growing in confidence. Take a look at that. You know, 22 deliveries that he's bowled in good length area out of the 24. I think that's phenomenal. And with the leg spinners coming pretty good out of the hand, the variations, the googlies turning, I think this track is literally tailor-made for the spinners, and especially for the wrist spinners. They extract a little more in comparison to the finger spinners. So no real surprises. When Brad Hogg's doing well, Piyush Chawla with the right-handed leg spinner will do well as well.
You know, in fact, if we do talk about that, Nikhil, when they were batting out there, and, you know, 167, probably we thought that Kolkata might be a little disappointed because the start that they got, they could have easily looked at a 200 total out there. They were able to defend it, but would their batting be a little disappointed? Is that something they would want to work on?
I think so. When your top 3, Radhika, get 30 odd, you know, you get the starts and you get the starts in quick time. One of them had to go out and convert that 30 odd into a big enough score. Had that onslaught, like you just said, later in the day, for the Knight Riders not come from Yusuf Pathan, they would have found themselves in a spot of bother. So I'm sure Gautam Gambhir would go back to the drawing board and speak to the batsmen. Guys who get 30s must kick on to get 50 and 60 in quick succession. that just catapults the score from 160 odd to about 180, close to 200, like you just said. But somebody needs to make a big one.
What about Yusuf Pathan out there? I mean, he did, sort of helped Kolkata get to that 167, but he's not been consistent. It seems like he's struggling to make runs, and when he's bowling, as far as he's there in the team as an all-rounder, today he bowled that one over some 19 odd runs out there. So obviously Yusuf Pathan is sort of struggling, and Kolkata would really want him to fire.
Well, true, but what stage of the game and the number of deliveries, the opportunity that is given to Yusuf. Andre Russell has been in top-notch form. That's why he got promoted ahead of Yusuf Pathan. He'll come good. And in terms of his bowling, he's always been a batsman who could go out there and bowl. And it gets very difficult for a finger spinner to bowl with a relatively new ball. It skids onto the bat, and when you're chasing 160, 170 odd with the fielders in, looking to pick up wickets, it's just you're looking to clear 30 yards with a new ball. You time it, and the ball flies out of the park. Not the easiest time for a finger spinner to bowl, but in terms of his batting, I'm sure as the tournament's progressing, these little cameos, a shot in the arm for him for confidence, I'm sure he's going to come good, because he's one deadly player when he gets going.
Nikhil, we have said that probably Hyderabad's batting is a big problem out there. Other than Warner, nobody firing. What about their bowling? They seem to be struggling between who to pick among Steyn and Bolt on a regular basis. Yeah. They keep shuffling and shifting that. That seems to have not worked for them, because Steyn hasn't really performed. His form in the World Cup wasn't that great, and coming into the IPL also, even though he's got matches, he hasn't been able to deliver.
Yeah, a little surprising for somebody of Steyn's quality not being able to pick up wickets with a new ball. You look at somebody like Mitchell Starc, who's done phenomenally well in the World Cup, coming out of competitive cricket, top-notch cricket. So it's not that they're short on match practice. I don't know. Maybe it's just that of late I've noticed that he's looking to bowl with a cross seam in comparison to when he's looking to swing the ball with the seam up, with the seam presented upright. He gets the ball to swing. Either he's not been able to control the swing, and he's a little short on confidence to try and pitch the ball in the right sort of areas. These tracks, Radhika, this time of the year, dry, good batting conditions, if you don't get that ball to do something in the air or off the wicket, the youngsters will just pick the line of the ball and bat through it. And these are phenomenal batting tracks, and you see the bats these days, even the mistimed shots are flying into the fences as well. So with Steyn's pace, if he's not getting that ball to move, he's going to be paying the price.
He's going to be paying the price, Nikhil. In fact, we did say that it is almost the business end of the tournament. Final few matches, fight for that top 4 spot. And that is, the competition seems to be heating up for the orange and purple cap as well. For the orange cap, it seems to be a battle between David Warner and Ajinkya Rahane. Both of them keep swapping places once they play an innings. What do you have to say about the two?
Well, Ajinkya Rahane is a phenomenal player, so is David Warner, but I'm happy that an Indian, who's been so consistent, and he plays an integral part for the Rajasthan Royals. He sets the platform, and they've got some big match winners, some big hitters. They need that platform. David Warner, I think sometimes when he misses out, I guess that burden of just looking to bat right through the innings, because he knows for a fact that there's hardly anybody in that middle order who can just carry on that momentum. I still feel that David Warner is holding back. He's still not batting freely. Even if he gets that 40-50 in quick time, he feels that I need to bat for a longer period of time, because my middle order cannot take me through.
And out there, another Indian in that top 4 is actually Virat Kohli. He seems to have scored 300 plus runs as well. Not that consistent, but he's sort of been delivering whenever Bangalore have needed him.
Well, I'm glad at least he's batting at number 3 or looking to open the innings. He's got to be batting in the top 3. He's a quality player, and you see a lot of sides pick out their match winners, their quality players, and say, well, we've got to give them the maximum opportunity of trying to, out of the 120 deliveries, at least bat for 70, 80 deliveries. On that day, Radhika, if they bat for 50, 60 deliveries, the strike rates of 150, 170 odd, get achieved with great amount of ease. So I'm glad at least he's batting in the top 3 and he's backing himself. Otherwise, I've seen a lot of captains, they try and control the innings from looking to bat lower down the order. You're not going to be able to control the game from middle order. You got to go up there, face the music, face the heat right on top. And I hope, Rohit Sharma is probably listening to me. He's going to be batting up the order as well.
Let us see if that happens, Nikhil. But we will talk about the purple cap too. And for a very long time, it was actually Imran Tahir who was leading the standings out there. But Ashish Nehra, what a brilliant IPL he's having. The way he's picking wickets. He's the premier bowler for Chennai. and he's been sensational in this IPL tournament.
Phenomenal. You know, hard work paying. He's an extremely hard-working bowler. Look at that, all through the summer. And the good thing is swinging the ball, you know, and he's bowling in the most difficult of times in the T20. He bowls at the start of the game in the power play, and then the 2 overs in the death. Never the easiest. You know, with the bouncers coming good, the Yorkers, the variations, phenomenal. I'm so happy. I'm just a little surprised at how he hasn't played for India in the recent past. I hope this performance continues and maybe a call-up for the T20 World Cup, because he's one street-smart cricketer.
And Dwayne Bravo out there. I mean,
you can never keep him out of the game.
The West Indians seem to love T20 cricket. That's what you've been saying. That's what the others been saying, everybody. And Dwayne Bravo, out of nowhere, he catapults himself to the number 2 spot.
Listen, this is, you know, what just gets the best out of the West Indian cricket. If you've ever traveled to the West Indies or you go and watch a game, you know, I had the, you know, good fortune of being there, part there, it's very similar. You know, you got the music playing, you're enjoying your cricket, you pick the line of the ball, you're batting through, you want to be looking to contribute towards a victory. If you've had a bad day with the bat, you want to come out and do something with the ball. If not, stop a couple of runs, try and contribute towards a run out. You need to be part of the game. And that's why the West Indian players are doing so well. This is so West Indian style of cricket that's been played.
You know, Nikhil, just a couple more things. We have said that it is sort of the business end, and Kolkata and Hyderabad were struggling for that number 3, number 4 spot to qualify the playoffs. Where does Hyderabad go from here? Do you think they can make it, or is it too tight out there and the other teams can probably take advantage of that?
I think in that 4th slot, it'll get very, very tight. Hyderabad, a good side, good bowling unit. They need to work out their batting very, very soon. Otherwise, it'll get too late. I'm a little surprised with the Kings 11 having the kind of side that they have. They're right at the bottom. Big, big surprise. Mumbai, on the other hand, you know, they're struggling to find the right sort of combination in terms of 11. With Rohit coming to bat in the middle order, they're a little weak on the middle order side as well. Rohit's got to be batting up the order. In terms of bowling, they've got Harbhajan and Lasith Malinga, who needs to go out there and pick up wickets. Apart from there, hardly any more match winners. So, you know, troubled times, but let's see who gets through.
Let us see, Nikhil, if actually the table looks exactly the way it is looking right now, and if Hyderabad and Kolkata can both make it to the playoffs. Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us for this discussion. With that, we will slip into a quick break, but do stay.